Hello guys, welcome to Ramta Solutions and welcome to your grade 12 functions, of course your grade 12 maths. Today in our past paper series, question paper that was written by the Northwest Province in September 2023. So without any waste of time, let's open the paper. Okay, here is it. Now let me pin it. Oh boy, I don't want to edit it. Let me pin it. Okay, hope it's pinned. Okay, let's go. All right, it's pinned. So from this point onwards, guys, let me urge you, if you are using a mobile device, please rotate your screen. Okay, if you are using a mobile device, please rotate your screen. So let's get into it. Remember, this is a past paper, so there are a few things that I want to highlight because I'm not interested in the whole paper. It's only certain questions. I want you to note this. Instruction number 4, we begin with instructions. Instruction number 4, clearly show all calculations, diagrams, graphs, and so on that you have used in determining your answers. This is very key. Okay. And then instruction number 5, answers only will not necessarily be awarded full marks. Instruction 7, if necessary, round off answers to 2 decimal places unless stated otherwise. Instruction 8, diagrams are not necessarily drawn to scale. Okay, so these are the key instructions that will guide how we do our work. And I believe by highlighting this, you will realize that in our solutions, we always make use of these instructions. Okay, without any waste of time, let's get to our work now. So we are going to functions. They start at question 4. So let me zoom this a bit. I think it's better. Maybe I can make it. Let me see. Let me make it 85. Okay, yeah, let me make it 85. Okay. All right. So without any waste of time, let's see. We're going to start with question 4, to be precise, question 4, not 5, question 4. Okay, so question 4 is a hyperbola. So let me not make that summary of hyperbolas. Okay, f of x equals 2 over x minus 1 minus 2. The reason I'm saying that is because I've been making a lot of summaries in hyperbolas, so allow me to ignore it. Should I? Okay, nah, let me not. Let me make that summary. We know that they come in the form, let me say f of x equals a over x plus p, where this a, if a is positive, your function, oh my, I forgot to add plus q. Let me add plus q. Okay, so now if a is positive, let me just write it here. If a is positive, your function is between your first and your third quadrant. And if a is positive, it'll be between the second and fourth quadrant. Now let's talk about this p. This p, it basically represents, what is this? It basically represents horizontal shift. Okay, it represents horizontal shift. By that we mean it's focused on the graph's movement left or right. Okay, so if p is positive, your graph will shift to the left, and if p is negative, your graph will shift to the right. Okay, now it's also involved in, or rather it is also what we call vertical asymptote. Okay, it is what we call the vertical asymptote. Okay, so vertical asymptote, remember, this is the vertical line where the function does not exist. So with this, we will say this is where x is equal to negative p. Pay attention, this is where x is equal to negative p. Okay, now let's look at the value of q. The value of q is involved, or rather is what we call the vertical shift. Okay, is what we call the vertical shift. That means movement up and down of the graph. If Q is positive, your graph shifts or moves up. If it's negative, it shifts down. Okay. It is also, this Q value is also what we call horizontal asymptote. Okay, it is also what we call horizontal asymptote. So this is the Y value that the graph does not, or the function does not exist at. And to get this, you will say it is equal to this Q value. Okay, so it is Y equals Q. Okay, now we then have what we term axis of symmetry, the lines of axis of symmetry. Okay, the lines of axis of symmetry. So these lines, we use the formula Y equals, I want you to pay attention here, Y equals plus minus this part. Okay, so Y equals plus minus X plus P, meaning this denominator as it is, and then plus this part as it is. Okay, as it is. Okay, so remember, these guys, they are the lines of symmetry. These guys here, they have gradient positive 1 or minus 1. Okay, they are these guys here. So pay attention to what your exam is asking you. Okay, pay attention to what your exam is asking you. If they say positive gradient, it'll be positive. If they say negative, you must then use a negative minus here. Okay, remember, I'm saying it is plus minus. Now, let's look at domain and range. In the last videos, I don't think I covered this. I didn't, but it's okay. So this is basically for your hyperbola. We can say all x values are valid, but not one that is the asymptote, which is the vertical asymptote, x equals negative p. That is your domain. For your range, you can say all y values are possible, but not the one that is the horizontal asymptote. Okay, this is your domain and your range. All right, now let's answer the questions. Remember, guys, if you're using a mobile device, I urge that you rotate your screen. Question 4. Write down the equations of the asymptotes of f. Okay, so they are 1. This is a over x plus p plus q. What is p? P is negative 1. So it means x equals, remember I said x equals negative p. So negative minus negative 1, it'll be positive 1. And what else? Y equals q. What is the value of q? It's happy? Perfect. Now 4.2, it says draw the graph of f, clearly label all the intercepts with the x's and the asymptotes of your graph. Okay, let me find the x-intercept first. So what is the x-intercept? Well, it means we will say f of x is 0, meaning y is 0, right? So f of x is 0. What is that? That is 2 over x minus 1, minus 2 is equal to 0. Multiplying by x minus 1 throughout, we have 2 minus 2 into x minus 1 equals 0 into x minus 1. So, of course, you don't even have to write this, but you can just leave it like this. It's okay. So this is 2 minus 2x plus 2 is equal to 0. So negative 2x is equal to negative 4. Happy? Perfect. Going to the next page, we then say x equals positive 2. Now let's get y-intercept. So for the y-intercept, you know this is where x is 0. So we're going to say f of 0, what is it? 2 over 0 minus 1 minus 2. So what is this? It looks like it is minus 4, right? It looks like it is minus 4. Okay, so I do see here, this function has shifted 1 unit to the right and 2 units down. Okay, interesting. So let me just do this. I will say this is minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0. And I'll say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. And then this is 1, 2. This is x, this is y. So we said, what is this? Horizontal asymptote is y equals negative 2. Alright, y equals negative 2. So we will just draw this line here. And then vertical asymptote was at x equals 1. That's what we said. At x equals 1. We just found that the y-intercept is negative 4. Here is it. And the x-intercept was positive 2. Here is it. What you have seen, that this is a is positive. Now when a is positive, it lies between the first and the third quadrant. So your graph is like this. Okay? Your graph is like this. Remember, this is how we plot in grade. This is how we plot in grade 12. Okay? Perfect. Moving on. 4.3. 4.3. It says determine the equation of the line of symmetry of f for when the gradient is negative. So this means I will say this is y equals negative x. Remember I said you will take x plus p as is. So you will take this as is. So you will say this is x minus 1 and then minus 2 as is. What is this? This is y equals minus x plus 1 minus 2. Then what is this? Y equals negative x minus 1. Remember guys, I'm saying you take this as is and this as is. But remember, pay attention to the type of the gradient they want. In this case, they wanted a negative gradient. Hence, I had to say negative, okay, or minus. Do you guys see that? All right. 4.4, sorry. 4.4, it says for which values of x will f of x be less than negative 4? I remember f of x equals negative 4 was a y-intercept. All right, here is it. They said f of x must be less or equal to 4, negative 4. So to say less or equal to say less means you must go down. So where is f of x less than negative 4? When x is greater than 0. But be careful, not just greater than 0. When it is greater or equal to 0, but less than 1, because this graph does not touch this line. Right? This graph does not touch this line. So our answer here, f of x minus 4 is when x is greater or equal to 0, but then, okay, and this is how you get your answer. Okay, this is how you get your answer. Okay, so I hope you guys understood this. It's important. I think with this one, I always want to make sure that I explain why I'm saying it's less than 1. I'm saying it's less than 1 because x can never be equal to 1, right? Your function does not exist at x equals 1, okay? And again, when you look at this graph, you can see that it has shifted to the right by 1 unit. It has shifted down by 2 units. And this is what this equation represents, okay? Perfect. Now, let's go to question 5. Question 5, we are given an exponential graph, okay? We are given an exponential graph. So let me not talk much on it, but a summary that you need for exponential graphs is this. They come in the form y equals a times b to the x plus p plus q. I want to tell you this. this P represents horizontal shift. Okay? It represents horizontal shift. So if P is positive, it'll shift to the left. And then if P is negative, it'll shift to the right. Now this Q represents horizontal asymptote. Okay? It represents horizontal asymptote. Okay? It represents horizontal asymptote. Meaning this is where a y value where the graph does not exist. So y is equal to Q. In addition, it also represents vertical shift. Okay? It also represents vertical shift. So what does that mean for us? This means when Q is positive, function shifts up. When Q is negative, function shifts down. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a summary of your exponential graphs. Now, another thing that I want you to note for exponential graphs is this. B is never equal to 0. B is also never less than, and it's also never less than 0. Okay, but maybe let me put it like that. B is never less than 0. I should say B is greater than 0. Let me put it like that. B is always greater than 0. Okay, B is greater than 0. Again, B is not equal to 1. These are the conditions that you know or you need for an exponential function, okay, or for an exponential graph. Okay, B is not supposed to be 0. It must be greater than 0, and it's not supposed to be 1 as well. Okay, these are the conditions. Now, the summary that you need is this. When A is positive, when A is negative, okay, and I'm going to say when B is greater than 1, and then when B is greater than 0 but less than 1, okay? When B is greater than 0, when A is positive, guys, remember A is this one here, coefficient of whatever that is to the power x, okay? When A is positive, your graph lies above the asymptote, so it'll be like this. It'll be increasing, okay? Concave up. And then when when B is greater than 0 but less than 1, it'll be decreasing concave up. Now when A is less than 0 and B is greater than 1, it is like this. And then when B is greater than 0 but less than 1 and A is negative, it is like this. Now let's talk range. Domain X is an element of real numbers. Okay, maybe let me squeeze it here. Domain, all X values will return a Y value. So for the range, it depends on your A. If A is positive, your range Y is greater than Q. When A is negative, here is it. When A is negative, so when A is negative, it's these graphs here. When A is negative, you will say Y is less than Q. Okay, perfect. Now let's answer the questions. All right, 5.1, we are told we are given g of x equals a over 1 over, g of x times open bracket 1 over 5 to the power x minus 5. Now, they say we must show that a is this when we are told that g of x is equal to a times 1 over 5x minus 5, and this g of x passes through point A with coordinates minus 2 and minus 4. So we will say the point given is minus 2 and minus 4. Where there's x, you put negative 2, where there's y, you put negative 4. So this is negative 4 equals a into 1 over 5 to the power negative 2 minus 5. So what is this? This will become, 5 will come this side, so it'll be 1. And what is, yes, it'll become 1. And then what is this? Is it 1? Yeah, it's 1. And what is this? This is a. Now this 5 will be 5 to the power 2, because, let me show you, 1 over 5, guys, is the same as 5 to the minus 1. Now, minus 1 times minus 2 is positive 2. Okay. Now, 1 over what is 5 squared? 5 squared is 25, right? Therefore, we can say A is 1 over 25. Happy? For 2 marks. Good. 5.2. Determine the coordinates of the x-intercept of G. Did you guys get that? Coordinates of the x-intercept of G. Okay. So this means G of x must be 0. Right? What is G of x? We just said it is 1 over 25 times 1 over 5, right? To the power 5 minus 5 equals what? Equals 0. So let me simply simplify this and say this is, if you guys know, this will be 5 to the negative 2, and this will be 5 to the negative x minus 5 equals 0. Right? Minus 5 equals 0. Right? Minus 5 equals 0. Right? So when bases are the same, we add exponents. Let's proceed. So this is 5 to the minus 2 minus x minus 5 equals 0. So you can say this is 5. Oh boy. You can say this is 5 to the powers minus 2 minus x is equal to 5. Now what is this? Bases are the same. Okay. This is minus 2 minus x is equal to 1. Therefore, this means x is equal to negative 3. Okay. Or if you like. Right, x is equal to negative 3. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, guys, if you ever get uncertain of your answers, try to substitute the value that you got into your function and see if it gives you, in this case, 0. If when you substitute x on this equation and it doesn't give you 0, you must know that the answer you got is wrong. Okay. 5.3.1, they say h of x is 1 over 5 to the power x. Now, they say 5.3.1, determine the equation of h to the minus x of x, which is the inverse of h, in the form of y equals whatever. So we'll say, reflecting on the line y equals x, all right, we will say x equals 1 over 5 to the y. So this means y is log x base 1 over 5. I have to add a video where I show you guys how to understand these logarithms, okay? So this is your, therefore, let me conclude and say h inverse of x is log x base 1 over 5. Okay, this is our answer. H inverse of, what is this? H inverse of x is log x base 1 over 5. Happy? Now, 5.3.2, I call it my favorite questions. Okay, I call it my favorite questions. Describe the translation from G to H. Describe the translation from G to H. Let me remind you guys. G of x was 1 over 25, okay, times 1 over 5 to the x minus 5. I'm going to simplify this until we are content. So what is this? This is, if you like, you can say this is basically 1 over 5 to the 2, and this is 1 over 5 to the x minus 5. As you can see here, bases are the same, you add exponents. Okay, so g of x and bases are the same, you add exponents. So what is our bases? 1 over 5, and our exponents, what are they? X plus 2 minus 5. Okay, now what was h of x? H of x was 1 over 5 to the x. Remember guys, they say we must describe how we moved from this to this, I will say to you. So h of x is g of x shifted 5 units up. Okay, 5 units up and 2 units to the right. Okay, 2 units to the right. Remember, when you look at this one here, it seems that, or not it seems, it is like that. This one here, when you look at it, it has been shifted 2 units to the left. As you can see, P is positive. It has been shifted to the left by 2 units and shifted downwards by 5 units. So to make it this, it must shift 2 units to the right and then 5 units up. Because when it moves 5 units up, this becomes 0. As you can see, there's no Q here. And again, when it moves 2 units to the right, this becomes 0. There's no P. Happy? This is it. Yes. Okay? Perfect. Now, so far we have 19 marks. We were supposed to spend 19 minutes on this. But we cannot spend 19 minutes because I'm also explaining. Right? Now, let's go to Bugonibu Pirima. Now, question 6 of Bugonibu Pirima. Let's see. I have dealt with these guys when, in the previous videos, when a parabola is like this, I have given you a summary of this. Okay, so let me not give you a summary this time. So, they say, the sketch below represents the following graphs: f of x, which is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, and g of x, which is equal to half x plus 2. All right. The line of symmetry of f cuts the x-axis at b. Oh, okay, I see it, which is also the x-intercept of g. That's true, I see it as well. C with coordinates -2 and 0 is an x-intercept of f. Okay, I see it. And then D with coordinates 0 and -12 is the x-intercept of f. D, oh, is the y-intercept of f. Okay, I see it. So guys, this means at the end, you need to know that the value of C will be -12. Okay? Perfect. So let's see the first question. So the first question says, come on, buddy. Don't move like that. Relax. So the first question says, let's see. Calculate the coordinates of B. Where is it? Okay, the coordinates of B, this is the x-intercept of G. So we will say x-intercept of G. Okay? X-intercept of G. So we will say G of x is equal to 0. What did they say G of x was half x plus 2. Okay. Half x plus 2 equals 0. So half x equals -2. So x equals -4. Okay. Therefore, the set coordinates of B. Therefore, we can say B is -4 and 0. Okay. 6.2 now, determine the equation of f in the form f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So, what we know, these two guys, distance between AB is equal to distance between BC. So, I will tell you now, AB is equal to BC. Or you can use midpoint. What is AB? AB will be, let's say, A, B, and B, C. All right, it's fine. What is A, B? It will be -4 minus x of A. What is B, C? B, C will be -2 minus -4, right? So what do we have? We have -4 minus x of A is equal to -2 plus 4, all right? So now, this therefore tells us that we can say x of A is -8, right? X of A is is it -8? Oh, sorry, it's -6, not -8. It's -6, okay? It's -6. If you got confused, guys, it's because I said -4 plus 2 minus 4 is equal to x sub A. So this is -6, okay? Therefore, we can say A has coordinates -6, and 0, because it is on the x-axis. Okay, it is an x-intercept. So we have x-intercept of the parabola. We can basically now find the equation. We have x-intercept and another. Let's go. So what is this? Okay, so we will say f of x equals a into x. This was x value here is -6, and here it's -2. So it will be x plus 6 and x minus, not minus, plus 2. Okay, so f of x, further simplification, this becomes x squared plus 8x plus 12. We have a point on the graph, which is point D, which is 0 and -2. Please don't tell me that it's a discord. All right, I know the singing is not on point, but yeah, -12. So where does x you put 0, where does when you put -12? So -12 equals a into 0 squared plus 8 into 0 plus 12. Okay, so what is this? -12 equals 12a. Therefore, a equals -1. Substitute this value into this. Then what do you get? F of x equals negative into x squared plus 8x plus 12. Therefore, we can say f of x is -x squared minus 8x minus 12. Okay? Ooh, this is it. So this is how you got your equation. Okay. Now, 6.3. Remember, guys, if you are using a mobile device, please rotate your screen. In Setswana is when we want to say please. Otherwise, we can say kakopo. Okay. That's Setswana. In Setswana. All right, 6.3. F of x is equal to -x squared minus 8x minus 12. Isn't this what we got? It is, right? Now they're saying, determine the coordinates of G. Mind you, guys, G, its y value will be 0. Okay, but don't worry. Let me zoom it in. Okay, I'll zoom it in after reading the statement. Okay, after reading the statement. Okay, it's fine. So determine the coordinates of G if FH, the vertical length between the points of intersection of F and G, is a maximum. So when they say this, to find FG, let me go to the next page. So to find FG, this is 6.3. To find FG, we will say, well, not FG, you are f of x, because we don't know what your x values are. You are f of x minus g of x. Okay, you are f of x minus g of x. And I think we will get a parabola that's frowning. What is f of x? It was -x squared, -8x, -x squared minus 8x minus 12 minus. What was g of x? It was half x plus 2. Okay, so remember, guys, they say we must find this guy where fh is a maximum. Okay, so let's see. -x squared minus 8x minus 12 minus half x minus 2. What do we get? -x squared minus 17x. Yeah, this will be 17 over 2x. Okay, it'll be 17 over 2x. Let me pause bit. Okay, so we were saying x squared minus 17 over 2x minus 14. Is it minus 14? Yeah, it's minus 14. So let me confirm. 8x minus half x. Okay, 16 minus 1, yeah, that's 17. Okay, so guys, this is the formula that describes FH, okay? That describes FH. So it is the distance between these two, okay? Now for it to be a maximum, it's totally up to you. You can basically find, what is this? You can complete a square, okay? You can complete a square, Or if you don't complete a square, you can differentiate, whichever you prefer. Which one do you prefer? Let me differentiate. Okay, let me differentiate. So I will differentiate. And by the way, because this is what we term your frowning parabola, the maximum value is what we call the maximum. Okay, this is a frowning parabola. So the y value of the turning point of this function will be a maximum value. So we can either complete a square, or if you don't want to complete a square, you will do this. Let me show you. It'll be, let me zoom this back. It'll be, what is this? It'll be d of what? Of fg over dx, because this varies with x. What is it? It is negative 2x minus 17 over 2. Okay? So if you want to know what it is, you can say, okay, if you want to know what it is, you can say, okay, this will be, because you have found the derivative, you need to equate it to 0, and this will be minus 2x minus 17 over 2, okay? And I'll show you with the completing a square, okay? So what is this? This is 2x equals negative 17 over 2. So this means x is equal to negative 17 over 4. Okay? This means x is equal to negative 17 over 4. Okay? So this is it. X is equal to negative 17 over 4. So this is the x value of the turning point. Okay? This is the x value of the turning point. Okay? So what you can do, remember guys, I'm saying this is the x value of the turning point. Okay? So this point, of course, when you look at it here, it'll have coordinates 0 with whatever point and 0. All right? It'll have 0 and what is this? It'll have negative 17 over 4 and 0, because it is on the x-axis. Okay? Can you see it? It is on the x-axis. Let's verify with the information given. Oh boy. Okay, let's verify with the information given. Did they mention anything about G? Let's confirm. Okay, they didn't, but it's okay. This is what we're seeing right now. Right? This is what we're seeing. Okay. So this is what we're seeing right now. So we can convince ourselves that it is like this. Okay? We can convince ourselves that it is like this. Okay? So we can convince ourselves that it is like this. Okay? All right. Now, let me show you. So, oh, by the way, let me proceed and say this therefore will mean G is, this therefore means G is negative 17 over 4 and 0. Okay? This will mean G is negative 17 over 4 and 0. Remember, we are not necessarily looking for the maximum value. We are looking for the coordinates of G that will make this to be a maximum. Okay? So this is basically the axis of symmetry. So let's see option 2. Let's see. We're going to explore this avenue. Let's see. We said FG was f of x minus g of x, which gave us negative x squared minus 17 over 2x minus, I think we said 14. Minus 14, right? Minus 14. Okay? So when we complete a square here, we take out the negative. Okay? So we take out the negative. Okay? Plus 14. So now let's complete a square. It'll be x squared minus, or not minus, plus 17 over 2x plus half. What is half of 17 over 2? It'll be 17 over 4 all square minus the very same thing, 17 over 4 all squared plus 14. Right? So what is this? This is minus x plus 17 over 4, okay, all square, minus this part here. You must use your calculator, guys. Let me get mine quickly. This part here, what is it? What does it become? It'll be, let's see, negative 17 over 4 all squared plus 14. What do we get? We get negative 65 over 16. Okay, negative 65 over 16. Okay, we're getting negative 65 over 16. So to be a maximum, x value must be, as you can see, this is, oh sorry, let me complete this. Let's go. It'll be negative x plus 17 over 4 all squared plus 65 over 16. Okay, so to be, or rather, this is maximum. FG is maximum at negative 17 over 4 and 65 over 16. Okay, so this is the point or the turning point that makes this FG a maximum. However, this to be a maximum, the x value must be negative 17 over 4. Therefore, what we need, we don't need the maximum value or the turning point of FG. We don't need what we need. We need this point G. This point G lies on the maximum of FG. Therefore, we can say G is negative 17 over 4. And what is the Y value here? It's 0. Okay, just like we did. Okay, as you can see, this has shifted 17 over 4 units to the left and 65 over 16 units. Okay. 6.4, I like it. So 6.4 is saying to us, for which values of x will f times f prime x be greater than 0? Let's check this out. What is f of x? F of x is negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. So what is f prime x? It will be negative 2x minus 8. All right? So now we are looking for x multiplied by f prime x is greater than 0. Okay, so this will be x. What is this guy? This guy is f prime x is 2x minus 8 is minus 2x is greater than 0. Right? So this is negative. Nobody likes working with something like this. So how about we divide by a negative throughout? So this will then become, not just negative. I see there's a common factor here, which is negative 2. So we divide by negative 2 throughout. What do we get? X, open bracket, x plus 4. The arrow was facing left, so it will now face, it was facing right. It will now face left. Why? Because we divided with a negative. All right, so it will be like this. So with this, we say, the critical values are x equals 0 and negative 4. So now this is a smiling parabola. You know it. What is the smallest critical value? Minus 4. What is the highest? 0. So we said this must be below 0, right? Why is it below 0? It's here. So what is our answer? This is when x is greater than negative 4 but less than 0. Okay. If you are not sure, you can prove this. If you're not sure, you can prove this and say, okay, remember you had x and x plus 4, which is basically x squared plus 4x. Think of any number that is greater than negative 4 but less than 0. I'm going to take minus 2. When x is minus 2, Okay, I'm gonna take x is minus 2. Now I'm now testing, guys. We are done. This is our answer. So I'm gonna take x is minus 2. Of course, it's greater than minus 4, but less than 0. What do we get? We get negative 2 squared minus 4, plus 4 into negative 2. What do we get? 4 minus 8. It'll be minus 4. Is it so? I'm not sure, but you guys can confirm. Let's see. What do we get? Minus 4. So, yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is 4. It's minus 4. Isn't it? Aha. So, when you look at this, this is really working. It is indeed what we were looking for, right? It is indeed what we were looking for, right? It is a negative. Now, again, look at it. Again, look at it. Now, let's take a number that is greater than 0. For example, I'm going to say x is 2. Let's see. What is it? This is 2 squared. Yeah, this is 2 squared plus 4 into 2. What do we get? We get a positive value, which is 12, right? So we get 12. Now 12 is positive. So indeed, it is not true for this. So we are sorted. Our answer is indeed correct. Okay, our answer is indeed correct. And what I'm doing here with the red, guys, you are just proving, okay? You're just proving to yourself to see if this is indeed correct. Okay? You're just proving to see if this is indeed correct. Otherwise, you can also draw a straight line. Let me show you now with a straight line. So this is option 2 of this question. So this is option 2. Now option 2 of this question. Remember, you said f prime x is, what is it? Negative 2. Oh, there's a mistake I'm making here. Oh yeah, it's fine. Option 2 is, what is this? It's negative 2x minus 8, right? So cool. Now let's try to draw this. It means this is a negative slope, right? This is a negative slope. So its y-intercept is at 8. And then what is its x-intercept? It'll be 8 divided by negative 2. It'll be negative 4. Okay, it'll be negative 4. Okay, it'll be negative 4 like this. Okay, so when you look at this, we are saying, and let a positive times a negative. Okay, so a positive times a negative. Okay, so it must be, so we're saying f of x, oh my mistake, x times f of x, f prime x must be greater than 0. So what are we saying? We're saying that when x value is positive, f prime x must be positive. When x value is negative, f prime x must be negative. So they must have the same sign. Now let's see, to the left of x equals negative 4, what do you get? F prime, what is happening? F prime is positive to the left of negative 4. What about x values? X values are negative. So positive and negative, we are not looking for that. Now when you look to the right of x equals negative 4 to 0, what do you get? X values are positive, x values are negative, and f prime is also negative. Is this what we are looking for? Yes, that's what you're looking for. So you will say this is when x is greater than negative 4 but less than 0. Now let's look to the right of x equals 0. X is positive, y is negative. That is not what we are looking for. So this is our answer. Okay? This is our answer. So this is it, guys. This is how you answer your questions. So we have given you different options of answering questions like these. Okay? So remember to get in touch with us if you are perhaps looking for a tutor or you have been using our videos. They are very helpful to you. You can get in touch with us by visiting our website www.ramtasolutions.co.za, And again, on the very same website, you will see these icons. When you click on this icon, it will open your mailbox, and you can send us an email. And because you're watching this video on YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and share this video. You can also follow us on your social media. Okay, so with that being said, ours ends here, and bye-bye.